What is kind of the core knowledge of the data services team?
It's like a broad range of services. Think about management, analysis, and the utilization of data.
What are we actually doing, and how do we start from the ground up?
Depending on the customer, what they have in-house themselves or we can provide, there are different scenarios possible. But I think it comes down to being eager to learn from each other, but also from customers. What can we do for you? What can we accomplish together?
How does the team go about chunking out that work?
Step by step, take it chunks and then move steps ahead.
Data is good, right? And you got to think good data in equals good data out. Our ability to be flexible and unify that data offers the ability to create really good data sets.
Data is not the same as information, and what we do for customers is make all the data into comprehensive sets of information.
Our data services team is probably our best kept secret, but it's no longer a secret anymore, is it? All right, we are back on another episode of Hospitable. I'm your host, Rob Napoli, and I'm in the beautiful city of Tunisia today at Omniboost HQ. And while I'm here for a couple different meetings and things, I wanted to sit down with our Chief Data Science Officer, leading all of our data services teams, working on some really cool project, Michel Meeuwse. So Michel, I know that we've been talking about doing this for a long time. And every time we've been together, it's like ships passing in the night. So finally excited to sit down and chat with you. So appreciate you taking the time to do the show.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad to be on the podcast. Looking forward to it. And like you said, we're doing a lot of interesting projects and never really took the time to have this podcast. I think it's a good time to do this.
Absolutely, because we've talked about it in press releases. We've got white papers and case studies. We've done customer interviews. You know, we had you on the podcast in New York for a short little bit when we did our little New York City podcast at Citizen M. But I think it's more important because the team that you have, our data services team, is probably our best kept secret. But it's no longer a secret anymore, is it?
No. We don't want to keep this as a secret. I think it's time for us to really step up and let the public know that we are doing what we are doing. And we're really proud of the things that we have done in the past and also what we are going to do in the future.
Yeah, and also what we're currently doing. We got some really cool things, which we'll get to, not to say too much now, but through some of the stuff that his team has been working on, we actually created a new integration type that we're really excited to talk about, which is what kind of was like, holy shit, man, we got to get this out there. And, you know, from my side, on the commercial side, we've done a lot of work in talking about who Omniboost is. What is our equity story? And a lot of people maybe just see us as an integration partner, but we are a data unification platform, right? So we're going to work into that and what that means. And I think that the stuff that you're working on is really important, but I think it's important to maybe kind of take a step back. So what does our data services team offer? What are y'all doing? Like, what is kind of the core knowledge of the data services team?
Yeah, like you said, Omniboost is known for like integrations, and what we're doing, we are great at that. But data services is going the next step. It's like a broad range of services. You think about management, analysis, and the utilization of data. Yes. Those kinds of topics. Our data services team is involved in all the steps, activities there in the data range available, like collecting, storing, processing, and extracting all those different data information that is available there. Because there's a lot of information, but it's not yet information.
Yes. And for those that haven't listened to, I did an interview with Kyle McKeag. We talked heavily about data unification in Michel's team. The reason why Michel and I sat down in New York for a quick hot minute was that we were in New York working with Kyle McKeag and his team over at MCR on a large-scale data unification process. And we did a whole episode. So if you want to learn more about the deep technical side of data unification and data flexibility, go check out Kyle McKeag's episode. So when we talk about data unification, we talk about the data services, there's all these different things, but what are we actually, like, what is the core base starting of the data services team? You know, you throw out data lake and data warehouse, like what are we actually doing, and how do we start from the ground up? Okay,
from the ground up. Like you said, we are data unification, and we try to unify data across different sources into one target system. And
so, for example, like 15 different PMSs to a single accounting platform.
Yes. Okay. We can start really simple, like with one target of the one source system into one target system. But like you said, multiple source systems, and we do the unification and put it into one data warehouse. That's also what we do. And we use defined steps that are really recognized in the industry, like the bronze, silver, gold steps, where we fetch raw data from different systems. We do a cleanup and aggregation in the gold layer, as you call it, and then we'll, depending on the customer, what they have in-house themselves or we can provide, there are different scenarios possible.
This is where I love, we talk about data unification, but we also talk about data flexibility. And what makes Omniboost different, in my opinion, is that we don't have it's not just out of the box. We have the bronze, silver, and gold layer using, if I'm not mistaken, AWS.
Correct.
Yeah. So we're leveraging everything out of AWS, which we think is, come on, AWS is strong. And so being able to leverage out of that is we can aggregate data, we can enhance data, we can do raw data. It's not just step 1, step 2, step 3. We offer flexibility in what data you want to pull and what you're looking for, correct?
Yeah, it's still one product, it's one service line, but the outcome and the setup can be different depending on the situation. Like for instance, we have one source system. We'll do the data lake ourselves, but the customer has their own data lake, or we provide the data warehouse also for them, or they have their own people who do that.
So we
like
could
for
do
MCR, they have their own people with their own data warehouse.
Yeah, so we could do like data lake to data lake, data lake to data warehouse.
Yeah.
Data lake.
In-house or outsourced.
Yeah. Okay, so we can do, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new today. So when we think about these different steps that we're building, and this is coming out to be a full-on product line, we've had 2 major projects. One that we just kind of finished up and rolled out, was it 280?
More than 230.
230 properties. Talk me through that a little bit. That's the Strawberry Project. There's a press release that I'll link in the show notes if you didn't know about it. And also there's an episode with the VP of Technology at Strawberry, Cariana, which was great. I'll link that in the show notes as well. So you can go back and kind of pull a piece all together. But high level, what was that project like for you, and how did the team go about chopping wood on it?
Was my first real big project for Omniboost, and working with the people from Strawberry was amazing in the way that they have really ambitious goals from day one, and we together believed in what we can accomplish together, and we made it work over the 2 years. So we just went to Oslo to finish up the project, and we're now going to a phase that we're gonna enhance all the things we've done already. But what we did in the last 2 years is like amazing, the volume they have, also the requirements from the business perspective, and we are able to solve them along the way, improve them with other vendors, but also with our Strawberry staff. It was amazing.
Yeah, so we're helping them create a connectivity layer, a unification layer, so to speak. We're also enhancing data, and then we're actually going to that phase where we're going to enhance further their processes, their integrations, their data, the unification, and potentially more data leverage through other source systems they've brought into their ecosystem.
Yeah.
Correct? And in the way it's set up, future-wise, if they wanted to add, say, another 20 systems, that's easy for us, right?
Yeah.
Not
easy, but it gives them the flexibility because they have like their own systems, but also every chain has this franchises model.
Yeah.
And we also accommodate all those franchises with all the different systems. So one PMS system flows into a lot of different accounting systems, and we can all support that.
Amazing. I think that's really unique too, because some solutions out there box it in, and we don't have a box. We allow it for flexibility, which I think is really cool. And that Strawberry project was huge. And so how big is the data services team right now?
With 5 people.
5 people. And when we started Strawberry, how many did we have?
Only 2.
Only 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy to think that we started a project with 2 and how fast that's grown. And the fact that if you look at Omniboost, we have a lean team. We're growing. We've doubled in size. We're adding another 25, I think, before end of year. But the fact that we can do so much lean, why do you think that is? Like, from your team's perspective, why is our team able to be lean but also be super efficient?
I think it comes down to being eager to learn from each other, but also from customers. And it's our core DNA, to the willingness to serve, as you know. And we also try not to say no, it's not possible upfront, but let's dig in and what can we do for you? Yeah. What can we accomplish together?
I love that. I think it's that collaborative approach that we really work with our partners that open up a lot of doors. And you know, through that project, we also created something special. So let's talk about it. Was it the what do you call it?
Sweep action.
Yes, sweep
Sweep
action.
action. Yeah,
I remember you've been like this. So talk to me a little bit. What is the sweep action integration? And how have we leveraged
like I
that?
said, they have specific requirements, business requirements. They want their reporting available next day, every day by 8 o'clock, something like that. But that gives us some challenges. We'll fetch data from 3 o'clock at night till the next day. And we have a window of like 1.5 hours to feed the data into their own data warehouse. But during the course of the project, we noticed, and also Strawberry noticed, that the data in the source systems was changing, or they were adding stuff. And we tried to get that did analysis on why it would happen, and we came to the conclusion we cannot prevent that the data is changed in a way, but still they want to have the data the next day, and they want it 100% complete for accounting purposes. Accounting purposes, you need to 100% correct. So what we came up with is we didn't delay their daily reporting because that's like a requirement. What we are now implemented together with them is we do the same integration later the day again, and we'll store the first one, we'll store the second one, and we compare those. And if there's any changes, some other source system or
An adjustment
is made in the system, we'll notice that, and we'll make additional journey entries to post them the same day. So in 24 hours, the system is watertight.
That is amazing. And I think this is so cool because the sweep action is something we can leverage in other projects. And it's unique.
Yeah.
When we were looking at that solution, right, it's the collaboration approach of never saying no, figuring out how to do this. What was...
The first initial response was, we have to delay the reporting.
Yeah.
But that's I said, that's not an option.
Yeah.
They want to have 8 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
So we came up with a setup that we will have the same result, but still have the 100% accounting.
Yeah. So what I want to walk you through is when you were going through that ideation and the team was kind of problem solving this, like walk me through that problem solving mentality. Because we talk about core DNA, we're growth mindset. We're always willing to learn, willingness to serve, right? And those are two core things, and accountability, extreme ownership.
Yeah.
All three things came into play here. So what was that solution process with the team like? How did you, like, what was, like, you sit down and chop it up? Like, what was that kind of, walk me through your process of coming up with that solution?
Now, for this example is that we came up with the analysis that the numbers were changing in the source system. It was a given. And then we were thinking how we can make sure that the numbers will end up in the accounting system 100% correct in certain time. And somebody said, maybe we can do just like a sweep. I said, sweep? We just sweep everything that's changed into one integration. But yeah, it's easier said than done. So you have to really make sure that you're doing the right steps because there's a lot of volume there, like you said, a lot of hotels. We may have to make sure that we do the right comparison between the right timing and then do the adjustments.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, when you put people in a room and just think of ideas and you don't limit yourself, a sweep action. Amazing, right? And so that project was super successful. We've got this new sweep action that we can actually leverage with other projects. Currently working separately with Kyle McKaig and his team over at MCR to do a huge data unification process. Walk me through that one a little bit, because you got to come to New York, and while you were in New York, you ran the High Line, you got to explore the city, you did your Central Park run, but you were there for business. So walk me through that project a little bit and what that means to the data services team and what y'all are working on.
Okay, I was my first time in New York, like you said. Really enjoyed the time, and the challenge they've got is that they have so many different hotels systems. Like for Strawberry, they have like one source system and multiple output systems. It's the other way around. So we have to find a way to make that work.
Yeah.
And going step by step for each system, make it work, get it into the systems, and get it robust and predictable.
That's amazing. And so and we're also creating daily reporting for them as well, right? So are we using the sweep action there or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So how are we, when we go about this, so it's a little bit different with in terms of one source system to multiple, how does the team go about like chunking out that work? Like obviously not getting too much into the details, but when you think about a project at size and scale, how do you go about thinking about that in a way to make it, taking it one bite at a time?
Now, first of all, what I try to do is make a clear overview for all the stakeholders, external, also internally, where we are and what we've done in the previous steps, document things, and like you said, step by step, take it chunks, and then move steps ahead.
Cool. So the MCR project's well underway and doing a lot of cool stuff for them. And as we kind of continue to grow the data services team, we've grown it from 2 to 5, and doing a lot of things. So what are other, use cases, or what do we see kind of moving forward for the data services team? What are the things that we really want to get more into, looking and forward to? What innovation is coming out of, y'all's team? I know we get to work closely on certain things, but
what I see in general is that there's a lot of SaaS systems still there, or getting more there, and moving from traditional systems to the online, and that is a really nice step for a lot of companies. The downside is that they don't have ownership of the data anymore.
Yeah,
and that's what we see. Companies still want to have one set of their own data. It's not just they don't trust their vendors, but they want to have their own files, their own information. If they're going to switch or something else, they want to do their own comparisons, on reporting. They want to have a full set of information.
Yeah. I think that's really important because we have a lot of amazing partners that we work with, and all of our partners are great, and everyone has a certain output, a certain storage, and things like that. And it's great to have all that, but sometimes you need to take those different data sets and piece them together with other things to get a full look or a full feel.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us unique. That's why we talk about data unification and data flexibility. We're able to pull and maneuver those things from that source system. And we also, we do data lakes and data warehouse. We also have our own BI abilities too, correct? I know a lot of times they have their own
from complex like the dashboards, but also really simple from a daily reporting in the mail, PDF or embedded, what the customer likes, with the budget and the historical comparison of last year, month to date, year to date. Very simple, very straightforward, but hotel management really likes those simple reporting that really works on a daily basis.
Yeah, because I think, when you think about accounting, traditional accounting, you have to wait for the month end. And they close out and they get that report, and it's usually about a week to 2 weeks later. So you're already halfway through the next month.
Yeah.
What we're offering on a daily basis is this is the current numbers with the data today. This is the historical from last year, and yearly, monthly, and yearly, and we can kind of do that. And that's within 95% accuracy to what's going to happen at the close of the books, right?
Yeah, correct. But the revenue is there. Yeah.
And that's what I think is really cool that people don't always realize. Like, we have this amazing capability and this amazing team doing these things, and it's really important to highlight that. And I think something that I get super jazzed up about, especially talking with customers on our direct side, when we're looking at hoteliers, hospitality groups, project management companies, being able to kind of explain this stuff and show them what they have access to is something that really resonates when we talk about data unification. That's a lot of work from your team, but also, our integration team, our tech team, our onboarding and support team. We're looking at all these different things, and it's like, data is good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But there's a lot of data. And you got to think good data in equals good data out. And not all data is good data. Our ability to be flexible and unify that data offers the ability to create really good data sets.
Correct.
And I think that's really important.
Correct. Like you say, there's data is not the same as information. And what we do for customers is make all the data into comprehensive sets of information, so that they can digest it or reprocess it, or they do it on their own. It's like different scenarios that are possible, but really take the next step with combining information that's available in maybe 1 or 2 systems, and they have their own information.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then, but the hot topic right now, AI, ML, automation. What are you excited about with these trends? I know we're working on some things. What are you excited about these trends, and what challenges do you foresee, and what opportunities that open up in the data unification layer?
I think personally it's really interesting is what is AI is going to bring to us. For our field of expertise, there's not a lot of room for like interpretation or guessing, or 80/20 is also right. It has to be 100% correct. So like you said, we are exploring the opportunities, what AI can bring to us, and maybe speed up development or in the reporting side of things. But for core business, it just, AI is not where I see in the coming years for what we'll incorporate.
Yeah. And so I bring that up for the fact that I think, at Omniboost, we've got a lot of automation. We're playing around with some AI things. We've got some things cooking in the lab, right? But I think it's always important to highlight is as big of a topic AI is, and some of the stuff that can happen with AI, it's important that when you are looking at data sets, especially when it comes to accounting, there's not a lot of room for interpretation. And so everyone thinks AI is going to change the game, and it is in different ways. But AI, automation, is not meant to replace. It's meant to enhance, speed up, make things
enhance
easier.
the guest experience. I think on that topic, the guest experience, on what you can expect the customer wants, or as a suggestion, I think there is a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, and that's why I think people have to really look at this holistically. Of AI in the space can do a lot of things, but in certain areas.
In the back office, you don't want to have like, the AI bot did something of accounting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can automate accounting, and there's a lot of things we can do, but there still has to be a checks and balances. And that's what I think is really important. Yeah. We also did a podcast with Jennifer Jones, where we talked about, where AI and automation can really help in the back office. But the fact of the matter is that you still need people to check it, because the data has to be
100%
exactly. Cool. When we think about the team, I know, it's continuing to grow, and we've got some projects coming in place. We only touched upon a couple of projects. There's dozen other projects that you and the team are working on. So we're really excited to see where that team continues to grow. Obviously, got to get you back over to New York, because I know always a fun thing. But any other things that you're really excited for as we look at the second half of 24, going into 25, that your team's working on? Anything that really just jazzes you up to get up out of bed every morning?
What I'm looking forward to the second half of this year is getting out with my team to visit customers more, do some more really in-depth sessions with customers, what we can help them with. Because step one is we fetch the data for them, we do the cleaning and etc., all the things that we can do. But then can we do more for them? Can we help them in their daily operation? They're now doing manual stuff or whatever. Yeah. Simple thing is like we have a Legionella reporting. That is very straightforward, because that's like when a room is empty for X amount of days, house cleaning must do some extra check before it can be rented out again. Yeah, some systems don't have that in stock by default, so we provide that information. So that's something that's also okay. That was somebody who told that that would be nice if you had that. Okay, we can take a look and create something like that.
I love that. I love the idea of getting out and talking to customers. As you know, being on the commercial side, I bring you into a lot of conversations, even if it's not relevant. Sometimes I bring in you and your team in just to listen in, so you can hear that customer feedback. So I'm excited to see the data team go on the road a little bit, talk with customers, and really figure out where can we provide other solutions, because the sweep action thing. Yeah. Give us a challenge. And if for those out there listening to this podcast, if you have a challenge on something that with your data unification that you would love to see, but you don't currently have a fix for, let us know. Let us be creative. Like, this is what we love to do, right? Yeah. I love that. I can't wait to see you out on the road, hopefully back in New York soon. And especially with the team growing, getting you over there. I'm sure there's a few reasons to get the team out.
I think we can think of something.
And I know you've been out, across Europe a lot, and you got some other trips already planned for going across Europe with some of our customers. So really excited about that, and appreciate you taking the time to talk through what the team is doing and kind of share with.
Thank you for having me and for giving me the chance to talk about something that I've been the best kept secret for Omniboost the last years, but I think it's ready for the audience to know that we are out there and we can do a lot of amazing stuff beyond our integrations.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is also link your email and your LinkedIn. So if you would like to talk with Michel, if you have questions, thoughts, challenges, either let Michel or myself know. We'd love to have a conversation with you. We'd love to, go ahead on with challenges with you. And I'm excited to highlight one of our best kept secrets because it is something that we are so passionate about. It resonates with so many people. And for those out there listening, if we can ever be of service, let us know. As always, be a tier one. Make sure you like, subscribe, rate, review. If you want to be on the podcast, somebody you know should be on the podcast, let us know. My email's in the links as well. And keep us posted on other things that you want to discover with the Omniboost team.
Okay. Keep up the good work, Bob.
Thank you. Until next time, y'all, stay well, be hospitable.